And in honor of today's Money Monday, we're talking about taxes. Tax season is in full swing, and we want to make sure you are fully prepared to file those taxes.
Absolutely. So this morning we're sitting down with local accountant Tyler Deese from Deese & Company right here in Columbia. All right, so we have a viewer question we want to get right to, Tyler.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pop this up on the screen. So this person says, can you claim money you paid a lawyer if you won the case and got money back?
Okay, so it really depends if that's personal or business. Under the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2018, you actually can't deduct legal fees paid for lawsuits if it's personally, unless it was like related to discrimination. But if it's business, then you can actually deduct it on the business side.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see here if we have another question. We want to know, what are some things that are different about the tax season compared to last year? Because we know there are some changes here in 2023.
Right, so some major changes this year. Obviously, the standard deduction has increased. So for single tax filers, the standard deduction is actually up $400. And if you're married filing jointly, the standard deduction is actually up $800. Another big change is the child independent tax credits. During the pandemic, Congress actually increased those to, I think it was a maximum of $8,000 per child you could get, a maximum of $16,000 per two qualifying dependents. Unfortunately, this year, that tax credit has been reduced to $3,000 per child or $6,000 for two or more dependents. And then another big change for this tax season is the child tax credits. During the pandemic, there were the whole advanced child tax credits. So in 2021, the child tax credits were increased to $3,600, but unfortunately for 2022, they've been reduced to $2,000 per child.
Yeah.
So it's been reduced slightly.
I know you've been having to give some bad news because a lot of people are like, I want more money. What do you mean? But
That's
you're
right.
right. A lot of things have been reduced. Okay, so another question for you. Speaking of, people wanting more money back, we know inflation is at an all-time high. So what are some things people can do to make sure that they get the most money back?
Okay, so a couple things you could do, like if you're an employee, for example, you should definitely maximize your 401k contributions, especially if you're offered that. That's a pre-tax deduction, so that can help you get more money back, but also that can definitely help you reduce your overall tax liability. Another thing is your charitable contributions. Like if you give out to charities during the year, definitely make sure you track those, because a lot of people forget to include those in their taxes come tax filing time. And then something else I see a lot with employees is make sure your withholdings are accurate, because that can affect you come tax time. And then definitely itemize your deductions if you can. With the standard deduction being so large now, it's pretty difficult to actually itemize your deductions, but if you can, a lot of people overlook it now and don't even pay attention to it. But your itemized deductions are your medical, your mortgage interest, your state and local taxes paid. So definitely give all that information to your CPA so they can check and make sure to see if you qualify for more.
All right, and real quickly, 20 seconds or less, how can we avoid tax scams?
So tax scams, I'm a forensic accountant, so the tax scams are definitely out there. One major thing is don't give out your social security number to somebody you don't know. The IRS will actually not email you, so don't respond to emails, don't click on links, and definitely use a knowledgeable CPA or an enrolled agent. CPAs are governed by your state boards of accountancy, so you can look online with South Carolina State Board of Accountancy. My CPA license number is 9820. Same thing with your enrolled agents. You could check with the IRS, that's who governs the enrolled agents, and you could check on there to make sure they're licensed. They'll have your best interest in mind.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tyler.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, filing taxes can be such a convoluted process sometimes, so that's why we have the experts like Tyler coming in to help us out.